Hello, all. Welcome back to my fragrance journey. My name is Ron, and today I am just sharing a little haul, just a few things that I have gotten recently ish to go over. And I'm really gonna press myself to be really quick and zippy because my last video I actually gotten pretty good. I felt like I was going decently, but this one I've like filmed a couple times and I can't shut up. So we're gonna try to shut up, but still tell you things. Here we go. So, first up, we have one sent from one of you lovelies, Lottie, who sent me this perfume version of this body spray that I talked about a couple videos ago. And this is Calypso Clementine by Bath and Body Works. And yes, like I said, Lottie very generously, very kindly sent this to me, and I thank you for that. Because it hadn't worked out for her, but she heard me rave about it, so sent it on its way to me, and I again very much appreciate that. I'm very awkward in receiving things from people just because I don't know, it's still new to me to have people to want to send me anything like that. I don't know. I know lots of people do that with each other, but yeah, it's just always funny when it happens to me. So if anyone ever tries, yeah, I'm sure Lottie can attest. I'm a little awkward perhaps, but I thank you again. So with Calypso Clementine, this is a fragrance that they note, or they put the keynotes as juicy clementine, neroli nectar, and coastal woods. I get the juicy clementine. It's very juicy. It's sweet, but not cloying, which I actually think is kind of in part due to the wood, which I also get. There's also a touch of an aquatic like quality to the clementine. I wouldn't say it's an aquatic fragrance at all, and I wouldn't even say like there's a distinct aquatic note. It's just a slight aquatic twist to that clementine. Um, and it's just yeah, it's juicy, it's slightly sweet, it's um I guess fresh in the way that citrus is always a bit fresh, but again, those woods really come in and kind of just dial it down a bit, make it a little more subdued, a little more calming, and it's just yeah, really pretty. And together, they're great because really, the body spray is as all body sprays really are. It's a lighter version. It's a less long lasting version. It's not so intense. The perfume is everything just at full capacity. So I can kind of really now customize. I can do, of course, just the perfume, just the body spray, or put them both together. Or what I like to do a lot of times with situations like this, I'll start out with the perfume and then throughout my day, because I work from home, I can I can go get a giant body spray off the shelf. I don't have to, worry about keeping that in my bag. So, I'll just top up with that as the day goes, and then use less of the perfume overall, which is good to make it last a bit. So, yeah, really enjoy this. And again, I thank you so much for sending it, Lottie. I was very happy to receive it. And yeah, this is just a great one. So, this is Calypso Clementine by Bath and Body Works. And then moving on, we have got the newest Kayali sensation. Everybody's talking about it, I'm sure. And this is Fleur Majesty Rose Royale 31. I always have to actually look at it because I forget, because the Kayali titles or names are getting a bit out of hand the last few releases, but I also kind of enjoy that. I like that it's so over the top and a bit silly, and a bit dramatic, because I just think that's kind of the Kayali vibe, right? It's all very over the top, diamond topped bottles and faceted bottles and all that, it's just silly in the best, like, I don't know, extreme way. But anyway, um, the keynotes on this one are juicy pear, sweet peach, rose royale, pink peony, violet wood, and purple musk. Um, Now, I definitely get the pear at the opening, and it is a juicy pear. So, with it being pear kind of at the top there, I immediately thought of Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar, which is the other Kayali that I own and I really quite like. So it kind of made me think of that, but at the same time, they are definitely different. This is juicier, um, whereas that is very, very candied, is what I think they call it. It's very sugary. Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar. There you go, the name. So yeah, it's a very sugary version. This is still definitely sweet, but just kind of in the way that pears are naturally sweet. It doesn't seem like over the top, or towing the line of cloying like that one is. But yeah, it's definitely got the pear. I also definitely get the rose, kind of quickly after the pear. It's like the pear is kind of the first burst and it stays, but I get the rose then coming in quickly after. And the rose is very, very like what I keep thinking of as a centered rose. So there's obviously, with any floral, there's so many different facets and ways you can take them. And rose is one that I think, have all experienced in many different ways, whether it's very mature, very classic perfumery. You might even call it grandma rose or something. But then there's also, of course, like really fresh, very naturalistic, very photorealistic roses. And then there are even, you know, a perfumey rose, which, as Danielle from my perfume journal pointed out, that, sometimes people don't seem to know what perfumey is, but if you know, you know. So yeah, if you know, you know, you've definitely smelled a perfumey rose. So this is kind of, yeah, all of those in one, which I think is their Rose Royale that they mentioned, which I believe is their own proprietary accord or what have you. But yeah, it's really good. And then I do get other florals, nothing distinct though. It's kind of just, it's like there's like this almost like a pile of other flowers. And you can't even quite make them out though because there's all the rose piled on top, if that makes sense. Like they're there, but just slight, just in the background. To that rose and also the pear. And then it does just kind of soften slightly and meld a bit more as you wear it. And it gets kind of muskier and warmer, but not like a spiced warmth, just kind of that settled into your skin, comforting, blankety type of warmth almost. And with that, it makes it something that I have worn for bed now, and I do like it as a bedtime scent. Not as much as Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar, which seems to reign supreme as my number one evening bedtime perfume. But this is definitely a good one for that or anytime. So yeah, this is Fleur. Oh gosh, Fleur Majesty Rose Royale 31 by Kayali. And I'll tell you, I'm definitely considering a bigger bottle soon because it is nice. Next, I have, what did I put on my list? Trying to go in order, trying to stay organized. I have got, oh yes, an icon and a legend, if only for myself. This is Paris Hilton for Men by Paris Hilton. Now, of course, that's the name of it, so that's what, I'm going to refer to it as, Paris Hilton for Men. But as always, I believe you wear what you want whenever you want. And yeah, don't let gendering and fragrance tell you otherwise. So this is one that I said, icon and legend for me. It's one I won't harp on too much in this. I won't even go like detailed notes or anything. I'll just kind of give you a brief overview because I do plan to feature this a bit more heavily in another video that I have coming up. But this is, or was, my signature scent for a few years. I wore it nearly every day and quite heavily for, a few years. And I really loved it then. I still love it now. I just kind of tapered off because, you start to explore other things. And especially, I think, for all of us in this kind of fragrance obsessive fragrance community, we've all probably had, especially when we were younger, because this was like my early 20s, you have those things that do kind of latch on for a while. And then as you start to explore and get into everything, well, then that just kind of goes out the window and you no longer really have anything that could be called a signature. And that's what this is. so I didn't even have a bottle actually for a number of years, and I just got this again recently, because I wanted it, in part for a video, but I just wanted to smell it again. I wanted to have it again, and honestly, it's so good, and it's not something that, like, I'm just keeping for memory. Like I've happily wore this the other day, and I'm gonna keep wearing it because it is really just so good. It's very, it is, when you think of a male marketed fragrance, it is traditional in that sense. It's got a little bit of a fougere element almost, which is so surprising that I like it, because fougères and I historically do not get along. But it's kind of because I think this turns it on its head. There's like mango, there's cucumber, there's aquatic, notes that I get from this. There's, it's just like it's got this fresh, almost slightly like kind of, yeah, kind of sweet freshness that goes into it. And then the fougere just comes in the way of, there are some aromatics, there are some herbs. I think it's like juniper and I think sage or rosemary or something. It's just got some of those herbal qualities and those kind of, yeah, aromatic qualities. And then, um, there's almost like even a little bit of a crispness to it. Kind of almost makes you think of like a breeze or so, I don't know. Um, and then at the same time, there is just like this kind of woody, kind of sexy base, kind of musky, a little bit ambered, resinous, like it's kind of just hanging out there the whole time. And yeah, it's just really good. So lush, so delicious. Um, if you've never smelled it, I really recommend this. This is like one of the first ones I think of when I think of celebrity fragrance that doesn't smell like what you might imagine a celebrity fragrance is. And yeah, this is Paris Hilton for Men by Paris Hilton. So yeah, I love it. Moving on, I have got another icon and legend, but not just for myself, for everybody. I mean, and this is new to me, I should say, but it's swiftly becoming a love, or well, it's already a love. It's just going to get better and better, I know, because this is Cabotine. Cabotine, wow, why is I enunciating that? This is Cabotine by Grès. And this is, again, very popular. Lots of people know this one, love this one, have tried it. It's been around since 1990, and it is a 90s perfume, very, like, happily so. Like, it's 90s perfume in a great way. This one, oh my God, let me get into the notes. It's a whole kitchen sink. And yeah, I have to though, because it's so ridiculous. I love it. So in the opening, we have coriander, orange blossom, black currant, cassia, plum, tangerine, and peach. Then in the middle, there is tuberose, hyacinth, carnation, ginger, jasmine, ylang ylang, freesia, iris, rose, heliotrope, and violet. And then in the base, we have civet, vetiver, blackcurrant, musk, sandalwood, cedar, amber, tonka bean, and rose. Oh my God. So yes, lots of things. But all that said, what's kind of magical about this for me is that it's so blended that none of that is distinct really. I really, the only thing in all of this that I get in a distinct way, is civet. Like that's the only thing that I really get. I mean, everything else I do get like it doesn't just smell of civet. Let me make sure I'm clear on that. This is very white, like florals, just very floral overall. Like that's first and foremost. Then there is like a little touch of aldehydes, but nothing sparkling. It's just very soft. Um, and then a little hint of a greenness, a little hint of a powderiness. But really, yeah, it's leading with those florals. And then the civet is there, and it kind of, develops more as it sits a little bit. It almost kind of like starts out low, ramps up a little bit, and then ramps back down. And so, but that is there. And it does give it kind of a slight animalic sort of thing, especially with the musk that's in there too. But I wouldn't say this is like an animalic perfume. That said, though, this is interesting also in that it's a very light perfume, but also could, I imagine, be over applied. Like it's interesting for that. It's still light, it's still pretty, it's still gorgeous, but I think you have to have a light hand if you want to keep that or those facets. Otherwise, I think it could almost be a bit too much. I only end up spraying like 4 sprays or so. Mind you, this is the EDT. There is an EDP as well, and they're very hard to distinguish except for really, I think, the box. Um, and when I purchased it, I actually didn't have a preference really either way. I've seen reviews loving both. I just wanted one, and the EDT happened to be on Amazon for like $13. And so I said, you know what, let's just get it. Let's just do it because I've been wanting it. And so, yeah, it's really good. I really enjoy it. And yeah, I'm really happy to have it. I understand why so many people love it. It's one I'm wearing today, and it's one that I know I'm going to love through the spring, maybe a touch in summer. Again, I would definitely be careful with it in summer. Um, and then, yeah, it's just lovely. So that is Cabotine by Grès. And then on to the final. Yes, the final. This is wherever the hell it is. Oh, let me shine it up here a bit, make sure I didn't get too many fingerprints. Also, to be careful, it's a very heavy bottle. Oh, that's at an angle. Oh dear. Oh gosh, it's all falling apart. Okay, so this is Shiseido. Oh, no, this is Ginza Night by Shiseido. So this is one that I stumbled onto this whole line actually several weeks ago. I first started. I'd seen an ad or something for Ginza Murasaki, which was the first flanker of this line. It started initially with just Ginza in 2021, and then that came out in 2022. And I'd seen that, and I was really just kind of smitten with the idea of it. You know how it goes with these blind buys. We see it and we just think, oh, that's it. That's going to be magic in a bottle. I want it. And that's how I felt. And so I had looked in the rest of the line. It all sounded good, but that really seemed to stick out. And that's what I decided I was going to get. And then a few weeks later, when I was like, okay, it's time, let me get it. I actually changed my mind at the last second. I was looking into other reviews and things, just kind of refreshing myself with the rest of the line too. I think I was actually more like kind of like, okay, I'm gonna get this one, and will I want any next, you know? And then I was just looking into Night again, and that just, yeah, it caught me, which makes sense because I think too over the last several weeks, my kind of my not preference, but what I've just been more into aligns more with this one. So I just kind of at the last second switched gears, got this instead, and I'm very happy. I've only had this for a day and a half thus far, so I got it midday, day before yesterday, and I wore it that evening. I wore it all yesterday, through the day and the night, and I really love it. The notes are black currant, mandarin orange for the top. So I said that very together. Black currant and mandarin orange at the top. The mid is gardenia, jasmine, and lily. And then the base is vanilla and cedar. For me, I get the black currant right away. It's fruity. It's juicy. It is sweet and kind of deeply so. And then kind of there's this hint of the mandarin orange. It's also sweet, but in that kind of citrus way. So it's not, it kind of helps, I think, pull the black currant back from being too sweet or too potentially cloying or anything. So you get just a hint of that citrus, and then the jasmine then starts to come through, and it's a beautiful jasmine. Truly, that's the best word for it. It's beautiful. It's not something like Aliens Jasmine by Mugler, which I also love. But this does have a touch of like a heady quality. Again, it's not the same level as like Alien. This is more beautiful, pretty first, and then a touch heady, and then the dry down on it, because it kind of honestly is fairly linear in those. The black currant, the little touch of citrus, and then the jasmine. I do get a little bit of the other florals, but they're pretty indistinct. They just kind of, just other white florals blending in the background there. Um, I don't really get anything in the dry down that's particularly like vanillic or cedar or anything like that, woody. It actually kind of almost kind of lightens up a bit rather than getting like perhaps a little bit more of like a, warm skin scent. This kind of lightens up and it almost gets a little bit fresh. It kind of almost reminds me of like dryer sheets or fabric softener. I wouldn't say it's like clean, like going into aldehydes or anything like that. There's nothing soapy, but it just has this kind of light fabric softness. This kind of like a blanket or something. I don't know. And I really, yeah, I like it though, and it's just it's interesting in that, and I just think this is really pretty. It's very much a designer scent though. It's not, not anything niche. It's not trying to be. It's not anything weird. This is just solidly pretty, solidly pleasing. I think a lot of people would probably like this one, and I'm really happy to have it because yeah, I think I'm gonna get a lot of wear, and it does make me more interested for the rest of the line too. So yeah, I really love it. And can we just give it up for this bottle now? The camera is doing some fun things. It's making it even more pronounced with like the blue at the bottom, or the blue tone that's giving at the bottom. Really, in real life though, this is like a deeper, like kind of soft pink purple at the top, and then fades into this kind of, yeah, like indigo purple. It's really beautiful. And then the juice inside kind of ambery, so it adds this like warmth in the center. And you kind of get that again on the camera, but it's just really pretty. And then we've got this very interesting atomizer setup. I mean, it's a normal spray. If I can do this gently. So it's normal spray. We've got this kind of oddly shaped cap. It's interesting. I don't know. I just like it. And again, it's a very heavy bottle. So yeah, I'm just a big fan of this, and I'm really curious about the rest of the line. But that is my haul. So, got some new loves, have the return of an old one, and then also, again, a very generous gift. Again, thank you, Lottie. I very much appreciate it. And so yeah, that's what I've gotten. So I pass it on to you. I'm curious to know what you may have gotten recently, if you have, and if you've also maybe tried any of these, whether you love them or hate them, let me know. But yeah, I just thank you as always so much for watching and for joining me on my fragrance journey. I hope you have a good rest of the day, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care. Bye.